Excuse me, sir. I think there's been a mistake. I know it's detention, but I don't think I belong in here.
John Hughes obviously drew a lot of poetic inspiration from Molly's performances, and at some point he lets her take over the character. But it's a really innovative bit of casting in Breakfast Club because he's having her play somebody who would have been friends with Carolyn in 16 Candles. Like, she's in. She's popular, she's rich, she has sushi for lunch, and yet she's extremely vulnerable.
If Molly wasn't written in such a way in The Breakfast Club, and her background wasn't written in such a way, I wouldn't know what to draw from, basically. He gave the roadmap to the look. So she's a prissy girl. First, I wanted her to be like the rich little girl in pink and a little beret and, you know, the diamond earrings, the little studs and little short skirt. And that was kind of, she was edgier than that. So then we went into that Ralph Lauren kind of straight wrap skirt with the boot, and it had attitude. Her clothes had an attitude. She had attitude.
Now, Molly, in front of her father, gives me an earring. So she's gonna have to, she's choosing that road for herself, which is quite wonderful, because she and Daddy are not gonna get along the next day. It's gonna be good for me. So I'm okay with that.
I think that Molly gets really unfairly tarred with really owning that character in Breakfast Club too much. I mean, I think she was doing a lot of acting, and she brought a lot of herself to it. But Molly is very, very intuitive and subtle person, and she played that character to the hilt.
Molly was just beyond her years. It never made any sense that Molly was, what was she, 16 when we were doing it? Molly never seemed like she was 16, ever. She's just beyond being a teenager, or she was back then, and now she's, you know, well, I felt like she grew into herself in her 30s. It's sort of like Molly was always 30, you know? And it never felt with Molly like, oh, Molly's, you know, 5 years younger or whatever it was than the rest of us and still in school. It just seemed like, why is Molly in school, you know, like that.
She is very shy. And she was throughout the making of those films. I mean, there's a certain, just a quietness, you know. She kind of remains a little bit at a distance, but it's natural to her. It's not like an air, you know. It's nothing that she's putting on in a way. She had like really interesting eclectic tastes that weren't necessarily like a Southern California teenager that you would expect, you know.
What's that?
Sushi.
Sushi?
Rice, raw fish, and seaweed.
In retrospect, you think back about, okay, that's raw fish for 4 hours sitting in a classroom. That's gotta be nice.